I'm glad you're on, Marco.
I have my other phone here so I can get in the chat.
Cool. All right. Yeah, you just have to make sure you got all the volume turned down. Otherwise, you'll get a
Yep, it's on mute.
echo. Yeah. How are those Padres doing?
Well, they did well last year. They got to the playoffs and if they keep building on that team,
Yeah.
they lost all their pitching. Their two big starters they lost right at the beginning of the playoffs. So you can't really win that way.
Yeah, right. Well, hello everybody. It's Scott Roberts and Jerry Hubbell here, and we are with special guest Marko Pola, who often watches our shows. And he was a couple of days ago. He sent me an email with photographs where he likes to go observe, and I think it was a really beautiful shot of the double cluster. Right, so very nice. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and so where are you? You're in your car. You're heading out. To, it looks like observing. You were showing us your Exos 2 mountain in the back and all the rest of it. You got your Mars shirt on, which is very cool. And that's you are set, dude. That's great. Uh huh. And
Yeah.
So you
Yep.
you are driving out to the desert to do some more astronomy. Where do you live exactly in Southern California, and how far do you have to go to get to dark skies?
Well, I live in San Diego, California, and I'm 4 hours away from there right now. I'm
Right.
also a member of the San Diego Astronomy Association, and we have our Club Dark Sky site. It's east of San Diego on the 8 freeway. Before you go through to the Anza-Borregos
All
desert,
right.
it's for the mountains there, and that's like a Bortle 4, Bortle 5 skies. So I can get some good imaging, to the east where where there isn't a sky glow. But if you're looking towards the west, you get the San Diego sky glow, and that can kind of affect, you really only image half the night then. So I decided to look around for some darker places, and the closest Bortle 2 area I could find was east of the Joshua Tree
Oh
National
yeah.
Park there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
So
that's where
I used to do a lot of observing out there. I would often go to Joshua Tree. There is some BLM land just south of Joshua Tree that I would often go to as well. There's a mountain that's out there and super dark skies, or it used to be, anyways. The SDAA site was a great site because they have observing pads and they have
yeah.
all of that. But I also used to go to Mount Laguna. I don't know if you've been up there, but it
Yeah.
can get fairly dark there. Not bad,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, and San Diego State has their observatory there in Mount Laguna.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you in that area, there's a lot of trees. To the horizon, can be difficult. It's also hard to find a spot to be able to safely park and observe. So yeah, that's where I'm going into those BLM lands.
Yeah.
I'm near the.
Shirako Summit. That's where I used to go, out by
Oh,
Shirako.
yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know what this is here. You could see a view of where I'm just parked on the side of the road here,
I think that
where
is
I
Shirako. I
have
think.
reception. Yeah,
Yeah. Look at
this
you.
is called Iron Mountain right there.
Ah.
So
Uh-huh.
yeah, so the place I'm going to is called Cadiz Sand Dunes, which are a protected area. They can't do off-roading there, but it's very dark and you can only get there by a dirt road. So I rented a SUV, and so I'll be able to get out there, and there won't be anybody there to distract me.
Right. So you're going alone. You're out there by
Oh yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
Wow.
I
Okay.
usually like to go observing alone just because it's me in the sky. That's my church.
Yeah. Yeah. And the coyotes.
And yeah, hopefully. But that's the thing. I do have I have it. It's called a tent cot, and what it is, it's a cot, but it
Right. And it's
pops
off
up
the
into
ground,
a tent.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it pops up into tent, and it's very comfortable to lay. But then I also have this SUV here, so if it's like looking dangerous out there, I can go inside and just set up my sleeping bag in here.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I used to take my truck out to Anza-Borrego, and there's a spot out there called Little Blair Valley, which is has a circle of mountains around it, and it was a sacred place to the Indians who lived there, you know, the Native Americans that lived there, and You could see pottery shards. There were fertility sculptures. There was all kinds of really cool stuff out there. Pictographs on the walls of some of the rocks that were out there. And it was just a really, really cool place to be. It could be raining in San Diego. I mean, just full on raining and be clear as a bell, right in that little pocket because the clouds would go right around. They go right around this place. And
Oh,
so, because
interesting.
it was often clear, the Native Americans that lived there said that the eye of God was looking down upon them. It was
Oh,
always clear there. So
yeah. Well,
not.
well, I think I'm gonna do imaging on the Helix Nebula. They also call that the Eye of God
Yes, I do.
tonight. That's what I think
Yes,
that's my target tonight because, we'll try it out.
that's very cool. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Marco. How did you get started in all this?
Well, for about 20 years ago, I got my first telescope. It was a 4.5-inch Newtonian that I got from Costco for like $200, and I had a little
Hmm.
go-to on it. So, that's what got me started. The rings of
Yeah.
Saturn was what blew me away. And then I moved and I was in Arizona then. Then I moved to San Diego, and I just didn't, so busy with life and kind of got out of it. And then it was the comet Neowise. That's what really sparked my interest
Oh,
again.
oh,
And then I
cool.
was I was like, you know what? I would like to upgrade my telescope, and I always wanted to get a Dobsonian. So I was looking around and I saw some videos about the Explorer Scientific, the 10-inch one that they founded at Costco, and it was a really great deal. And so
Yeah,
I picked that one up,
yeah.
and that was my first Explorer Scientific, item
Yeah.
product. And then I got a couple eyepieces for it, the 82 degree Explorer Scientific, which would look amazing inside the Dobsonian. I love those views. So I use the 11 millimeter and the 6 millimeter long eye relief one.
Oh, yeah, the
And
six
those,
and a half. Yeah.
yeah, those I use those too, and they do really well. And then I have like a 30 Parks Gold Series 35
Hmm.
millimeter, which is really good. But I would like to get the 30 millimeter 82 degree one,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
but it was out of stock.
That one's always out of stock. That is a honey of an eyepiece. Not for me saying it. It's the people on cloudy nights are always like comparing this 30 against all kinds of other
Oh,
eyepieces in that focal length class, and it usually ranks very high. So
yeah.
I'm happy that we have something that is a great contender out there with the long focal length eyepieces, which are so important for deep sky observing. Um, so I think that when you finally do get one, uh, you know, I'll be checking in with you to see what your response is like. So.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, and so the my first experience in this area was doing the Amboy Crater last weekend, and so I drove up there. I heard some reviews about being a good place for observing because there's a little parking area where it's paved. You can park there. There's also some pit toilets, so you have some amenities
Okay.
nearby, and so I went there, and plus it's scenic with the crater. You can hike up into the crater. I didn't get there early enough to do too much hiking. I just kind of did some sunset photos, which I
Okay.
can share. And
Yeah.
then it was neat. The problems were there was some other people that was there. So there was an RV that had lights, and then there was two other people that were setting up their telescopes too. So there was some other
Oh, that's good.
astronomy people.
That's
But
good.
then it's next to a train line right next to Route 66. So you always had these lights coming from the train. So I kind of wish I had my observatory tent right then because I
Yeah.
could have
Yeah.
been, you know,
It's
getting a little
coming.
bit of
It's
those.
coming.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah.
So that's why I'm going into a spot where there will be nobody. So I
Right.
won't be dealing with any light pollution.
Hmm.
And but yeah, I can show those pictures of the
Yeah.
that I took.
Yeah, you're already doing astrophotography. I mean, how
Yeah.
long have you been into this?
Well, since I only did astrophotography for about a couple months now.
Amazing.
So, okay, let's get these. Keep current. Okay.
There you go.
Settings. Okay. Is that showing there? Oh,
Not, it looks
oh.
like, yeah, it looks like it. It is, yes. Wow, that's really nice. Look at that.
So here we go. We're looking at the crater here, sunset, which
Mhm.
was really, and this, it was one of those times where it was raining everywhere in Southern California, but on the weather forecast it said that, here in the Joshua Tree area there would be clear, and it was at night. There was a little bit of clouds right here, but they went away at nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's the view of
Oh,
the
that's cool, man.
job, and then you can see that's LA in the back there. That's sky glow from LA, and then you can
Yeah.
see the shadow of the crater right there on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
You're
then I
gonna have to
have,
let me use that image on for
oh
some lifestyle images or something. But I need one
yeah,
with you in it, like standing there
oh
or something.
well, I
So
can do some tonight.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Let's have that because that's you lit
yeah,
that thing up perfectly. It's really cool. I like that.
yeah. There was, and then over on the right you can see I have a 8-inch Meade Smith
I
cast
see it.
screen, and
Mm-hmm.
that one's on the Exos 2. So that was imaging the double cluster, and we can see that here.
Oh,
That's
so you have an
my,
8-inch OTA? Wow, look at
yeah.
that. That
So
is nice.
so I use the ASI Air Pro, and
Okay.
then this was actually just a live stack I did with 15 2-minute exposures. So it's only 30 minutes here. And then, you can do the dark frames and have it calibrate when you're doing your live view. So it just stacked those, and then I went and processed it in Zero later, in Photoshop, just to fine tune it a bit. But yeah, it looks pretty nice. I got a lot of
Yeah.
nice colors there, the reds and the
Oh yeah.
yellow.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that double cluster, man. It's something cool to look at, especially in a Dob with a low power eyepiece, you know?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The 35 millimeter one I had, the Parks one, it
Mm-hmm.
they both show up really nicely in
Oh
that.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It looks like to me it looks like somebody took two handfuls of diamonds and just poured them out on black velvet, you know, when you get
yeah.
really dark skies. So that's so cool. That's so
And
cool.
this was also my first time using a dedicated astro camera. So this is the first light. I got the ASI
Man.
294 MC Pro, and my first, when I got the camera, the first thing I did, I was so
Yeah.
excited, was just to start building my dark frame library. And then one night I had all my dark frames for all these exposures, and I was like, yes, no more.
Man. You know,
Yeah.
to do that well, just right out of the gate, Marco, is pretty amazing. I mean, you
Well,
just have a natural knack for it. So
Well,
that's
I've been watching videos for YouTube videos while I'm working. I'm watching YouTube videos of everybody talking about their experiences, and
oh,
so I was learning a lot from all Galactic
hmm
Hunter, Astro
hmm
Backyard. Everybody's just really helpful in what they're sharing, and then that's how I learned about the ASI Air Pro, and that was like, wow, that made it so easy for me because I didn't have to learn PhD two and all. It's all built into it, so
sure,
it really made it easy for me to get started. And
that's
and then
excellent.
the Exos 2, the only problem I had was figuring out to switch to the serial. So once I got that figured out, it's been running, like so smoothly.
Perfect. Oh, that's perfect. Wow. You know, it's unusual to have somebody just stop on the side of the road on their way to a star party to, to chat with us
Yeah,
live. So this is totally
private
cool.
start
Okay.
party.
Right?
Yeah.
This is totally
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, it's in the moment. Yeah, you guys can see my Exos 2 right back there.
Hmm
And then buried in there would be the my Dob and
Yeah.
the 8-inch SCTs in there.
So I don't know if you do this,
So
Marco,
yeah,
but
I'm excited.
before I would drive out 4 hours to someplace because I would drive from Laguna Hills out to Anza-Borrego, and that was about a 3.5, 4 hour drive. I mean, that's how long it takes to get to dark skies in Southern California, folks. You know, you need about 3.5, 4 hours, maybe
Yeah.
sometimes a little bit longer than that. But one of the things I learned, thinks anything here, Marco. One of the things I learned was is that I had to completely build my rig,
Oh,
completely build it. Okay, every wire, everything, turn it on, watch it all work, and then tear it all down and put it in the car. Okay.
yeah. I could
That
go.
that trip back home to get that one cable, okay, or that one bolt.
Yeah. It,
So I don't
it,
know if
it
you do that, but that's
Well,
something I suggest.
I definitely basically I get home and then I unload it and it's all sitting in my living room until my next viewing session, and I try to
Wow.
keep
Okay.
everything together.
Yeah,
But if I do forget something, the great thing is I have that 10-inch Dob that's ready to go. I don't need to worry about any electronics on that,
that's very true. That's very true.
as
I've
long as
left
I don't
I've
forget
left
the
the
screws.
I've left the a counterweight. I've left the hand controller for
Oh,
Skywatcher mount I used to have. And I've left,
oh,
cables are the worst when you got two cables that you use and you
a
got only one of them and
proprietary
you're sitting there
cable.
look
The you can't just get this cable anywhere, right?
right.
So yeah, there's some comments already here. Jeff Wise says Marco the Trooper. Uh, Pekka's watching from Stockholm, Sweden. I think you can see some of this stuff here. So you've got Marco's got his other phone turned on to see these chats here. Michael Whitaker, I always view the double cluster every time I go out to image, just to check my slewing is working okay. It's a good idea. Aaron Stewart says, you guys give discounts to veterans. Kept my buddy sane when his old lady left him after our last deployment. Oh man. I took him observing with me in my backyard. It mellowed him out after I showed him the double cluster in Perseus. This is something I try to tell people. You know, astronomy and being out in the stars is good for you. Okay, it's going to help you. You know, it's going to make your mind better, your heart, your whole spirit, your whole feeling is going to be better. You know, and it really is a healing thing for real. He says he's been trying to start a veterans astronomy club ever since. Believe it that it's good therapy after you've been running around in a desert. Oh, believe it. That it's good therapy after you've been running around in a desert for 9 months with people trying to kill you. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. Jim Norwood. I came in a bit late. I couldn't help but notice that Marco's studio looks a lot like a car parked on the edge of a busy highway. That's right. Hey, you're seeing him do the real thing right here, man. Aaron Stewart, looking at one of your 150 millimeter plus Appos because my back is too jacked up to haul around a Dom. Gonna buy a mount and a tripod with it. Aaron, when you talk to us in customer service, you know, just let us know what you're able to lift. Okay, you know what your lifting level is like, and then we can fit you. We'll get you outfitted the correct way.
That's why I like that 10-inch Dob, is that it breaks apart and the heaviest thing is like 35 pounds.
Right.
It's very, very compact, and you put it together and then you pull it back down when you're going to put it away.
Right. Well, another way that you can go is you can have like a cart. You know, I saw a guy who was totally disabled. He was in a wheelchair. This is the first time I went to the Texas Star Party in 1983. He had a van. The back doors of the van open up. This rail came out, okay? A C-14, okay, Celestron 14-inch comes out, okay, like this. He had he wasn't using Celestron's mount. He was using a mount from a company called AstroWorks. And AstroWorks had a fork mount that was probably 2 or 3 times heavier than the stock Celestron mount. And the dude, he pulled it out, lowered the tube onto the fork arms, attached a little bolt here, attached a bolt. He did the whole thing himself, you know. So there is ways. I mean, if you're you're a little bit challenged with your back or your knees or any of that stuff, there's ways to deal with that. Um, and anyhow, yeah, we should recognize all people, the veterans, for their service, and certainly we and all of our dealers pretty much offer discounts to veterans. So I don't think you're going to run into any kind of problems with that. But your comments about Starlight being good for you is you're speaking to the choir here, so to speak. But so what do you plan to do tonight? You're going to get out. What time do you plan to arrive there?
Oh, I should be there in about an hour. I'm almost to the dirt road, and then I'll take that a little bit slow, which will be about 30 minutes on that, and then just kind of scope out, find a good area, because you can camp anywhere on the BLM
That's right.
the land areas, as long you can do it's free camping up to 14 days. Every 28 days you can be out camping.
Yeah, it's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's a lot of time out there. California has some really transparent skies, and if you're at the right spot, you're going to get some great views. So, really loved it. All the way going all the way up to Northern California. The Golden State Star Party is another. I don't know if you've heard about it, Marco, but this is a star party that's almost to the Oregon border, and it is really dark and really spectacular. You're up high, in the mountains, and it's beautiful. Some of these places are so dark you can see your shadow from the light of the Milky Way. So you definitely want to get out to some areas like that.
Yeah, I want to do the one they do in Death Valley Star Party. It's in February, and well, they had to cancel last year because of the pandemic, or this year, but I did reserve a couple camping spots at the Furnace Creek campground in Death Valley where they set up. So I think people will still go. It was all sold out within the first day, so they'll still go and do it whether it's official or not.
Yes, yeah, just be safe. You have to keep your distance. I think that's not a problem for most astronomers anyways. I think the only time that we might get into some issues is when they would have like group meetings out there at these star parties to listen to a lecture, or for door prizes or something, where they would all be like crushed into like a tent somewhere, So, but the observing itself probably should not be a problem. A lot of people do distance out anyways, So, but that's cool. Well, any advice, any observing tips you want to pass along, or advice to people traveling out to do some stargazing?
Well, I just look at that light pollution map on the internet and just try to see how I could, find a spot that would fit into one of those dark areas, and definitely go out there and do it. I mean, I can do imaging in my backyard or an hour and a half away at my the San Diego astronomy site, but it's really fun to go to a really dark sky and just enjoy that starlight and camping, all that.
Sure. And you're a member of San Diego Astronomy Club now?
Yeah, yep. Okay. I am a member. Right. I was a member 20 years ago, and then I kind of let it go, and then I'm like, well, I should start up a membership again. Get They're out there. They're a great group.
They really are.
Yeah, they have a really nice amenities. I mean, you go there, you got the concrete pads, you've got power, you've got water, flushing toilets, a warming room with coffee makers and refreshments. So nice. It's really nice.
You need the refreshments.
Yeah.
And the coffee. Yeah. That's cool. That's very cool. I miss being out there. Because I knew a lot of secret spots out there too for good astronomy. So, well, be safe.
Thank you.
Okay, be safe out there. you
You got
know,
plenty of
I'll
water?
report back later
report back
with pictures.
later. That's right. Bring pictures, you know, that would
Yeah,
like to see some photos of you with
yeah,
your dog. And, consider joining us on the next Global Star Party. I'd love to have you on,
yeah. That would be
you know, and
fun.
you can do it from your backyard if you want. You don't have to be in
Yeah.
someplace super dark, you know, so.
Well, I got the L enhanced filter, so that would work. You know,
Oh, yeah,
that would
that's
help.
right. That's right. Well, Marco, thank you for taking time
All
out of
right,
your busy trip out there to the desert, and we'll catch up with you soon. Okay?
all right.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye bye. Bye bye. That was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love that. Love that. So anyhow, we're going to try to have a special guest on every day if we can. We've got tomorrow is Thursday, so Andrew Fracknoy, who's with he's like former president of the Astronomical Society of the Pacific, is going to be on. He has that guy has really devoted his life to astronomy and getting people involved in astronomy on many levels. You know, he ran this amazing lecture series, and every time I think that he's going to retire or something, he just seems to get involved more with something.
Oh
So,
yeah.
and he's got this demeanor about him. It's just, well, you'll see tomorrow. He's a great conversationalist, so I think you'll like it.
I know one of the things that I've noticed uh, when since I've gotten older, I feel the limit in time, and I know I want to do more. So I'm really active at trying to do more, and it's
And it's
you
killing you.
know because you don't have forever.
That's true. That's
You don't
true.
have forever, so what
Yeah,
you got to seize your opportunity to do what you can
that's
today,
right. Well, you got a couple options. You can mow your lawn a lot, okay? All right. You
right?
can get this huge list of honeydews, okay? You could do that. Or
Right.
you could do something you really like to do, you know.
Well, you have to balance all that stuff, of course, but
Oh, sure.
again, you don't, you got to seize your opportunities as they come along, and that's what I've done with my career the last 10 years, and you know that, Scott, how.
I Yeah, I do. I do. Yeah. So I posted it on Facebook today. Marketing came up with and surprised me with this giant planisphere that, I had like just started talking about it,
Pretty cool.
and I found this sitting on my floor here. But this is the supersized version of this little guy. Okay.
It's like a classroom demonstrator.
Exactly, exactly. I had it made so that we could, I wanted to have something for, you know, for the shows that we do, because this is pretty easy to see, and it's pretty easy to show how you would, rotate it around to get to the right month. So what are we, November 11th right now? We're November 11th. So that's
Yep, that's right.
right. It's kind of hard to get oriented
So
here.
you adjust the time of the evening to the date, and
To
that's
the
what the sky
date,
looks like.
exactly. So that's the 10th. Everything's reversed here as I'm looking on the camera screen, although it
So what time are
looks
you
correct.
trying to show?
So this is 11 p.m., right?
Oh, yep,
11 p.m. and November 11th. Today's the
okay,
11th? That's right. So
yep,
it'd be 11, 11, 11, right? So,
yep.
right? But and the way that you use this particular planisphere, the Tyrian planisphere, which is, by the way, the real one is double-sided. It's for the northern hemisphere, and it works from 0 latitude all the way up to 60. Most of them go like from, you have to buy different ones. So like if you want something that's from 20 to 40 or whatever, or 30 to, this one goes all the way from the equator, okay, up to 60 degrees, which
Yeah,
is
that's
pretty far north.
yeah.
And a lot of the planispheres, you would find the North Star, and then you would hold it up like this, above your head. maybe holding a flashlight in your mouth, and then you could see, okay, that's the, this is the North Star, and then you would see all the stars kind of wrapped around you. But that's not how this one works. This one, you just kind of hold it up, okay, like this. You find your horizon line, which is these lines right here, and you can hold it just right in front of you, very comfortable, okay, to use it like that. On the other side, I'm showing the side that I was looking at. This isn't the southern hemisphere. This is in the northern hemisphere looking south, okay? Looking south.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not northern hemisphere, it's southern hemisphere. This is all northern hemisphere, all right? But the way that Will Tyrion designed this is so that there's no distortion when you're looking at the planisphere versus what you would see projected out on the sky. So very cool. The only double-sided northern hemisphere planisphere that I've ever seen, and so that's very awesome. We are thinking about making a similar one for the southern hemisphere. So we're seeing what kind of market demand that we would have for that. But this is kind of an educator's version, right? So
Yeah.
you could hold this in front of the class. You could teach kids how to use it, or you could. Another thing that would be really cool for a big one like this, although I haven't decided to sell it yet. Okay, maybe I will. But it could be. I thought about like the kind of check-in spot where you go for any star party. You're driving up, and there's usually like a tent or a cabana or something where you go and you check in, and they say, okay, yeah, Scott, you're on space number 34 over there. Okay, but I thought this would be kind of cool to have right there, and they could show. You could put stickers on here where the planets are, for example, or like where a comet is, that kind of thing, or supernova,
Right.
meteor shower.
Just show what's up tonight.
This is show what's up tonight, This would be good for astronomy clubs, to kind of show what's up tonight as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this particular one, I think is a little over 2 feet in diameter. And Jerry, I'm having one made double this size.
Are you really? That'll be cool.
That would be really cool. So
They make it that's made out of, what's that made out of? Foam board?
it's what it is. We have this big printer, okay? So we can print up to like 50 inches wide, I think. And then it's laminated on the back side of this. It's laminated, and then they use something to attach it just right through the plastic of the laminate. A big one, I'm probably going to have to put like plexiglass underneath it.
It's going to be made out of wood.
No, I'm still going to use foam core. This is foam core right here.
Okay.
Okay. It's laminated, but you can get foam core half an inch thick, so I'll get a big one that's sturdy so it'll last for a while. But I thought that was fun.
Yeah.
I thought that was fun. And these planispheres, this is the right size to take with you to a star party. These are like $15 or something like that. So totally waterproof. It's cool. And so that's kind of what I've been up to. Last night we had the 21st Global Star Party. That was great. Jason Genzel had won his first astronomy picture of the day from NASA yesterday, which was the Sol Nebula minus stars, which was really cool. And so overall the star party was just great. It had Norman Fulham playing. You've got a friend from cover from James Taylor, and
he always does a great job.
It was so cool. It was so cool. Yeah, I really enjoy the global star parties. It's just a good time. So you got clouded out though, right?
Yeah, it was cloudy. That storm was just basically early on in the evening. It looked like it was supposed to be clear, but and Astrobeard had some clear skies up in Baltimore, but
That's right.
I wasn't. It had already moved into our area by that time.
Mm-hmm. Well, so what's been going on in your world, Jerry?
Uh, I'm still working on different projects. Not a whole lot I can talk about. It's product development.
Right.
We're actively developing products. If our customers wonder what we're doing, besides customer support, we do have an active
We
product
actually
development.
do develop products. That's true.
Yeah, we do have an
That's true.
active product development
Hmm.
cycle going. So,
Right. Yeah. You'll notice that during the last Global Star Party that Bob Denny was talking about, networking observatories and
right.
stuff like that, and so
Al-
he touched on things that we are working on already.
yeah,
But
alpaca.
it was kind of reaffirming, because Bob Denny's has been kind of a futurist in our
Yeah, I started
industry.
smiling when Bob was talking about the stuff, and I knew, because we had talked about it previously, and you said,
Yeah,
like, is this for real? And then Bob comes up unsolicited, talks about the same
unsolicited.
stuff.
Yeah, right, right, unprompted. Right.
Right.
I mean, it's not like we talk to Bob Denny all the time, I mean, he's a great guy, and we love having him on the global star parties, but we just don't get that kind of opportunity to talk to him that much.
Right.
Um, which is another great reason to have the global star party. It gives us that chance. Jim Norwood says it's clear here in Tulsa. The seeing forecast is meh, but I'm going to take my Explore Scientific 3x focal extender out for first light, trying to get a larger image of a planet or two. Okay, yeah, you should look at Jupiter and Saturn if you can.
Yeah, hopefully it won't be too mushy.
Yes. Dusty Haskins has asked me, could we laminate one onto a Dobsonian cover? Maybe. Maybe. Yeah. Uh, and Stefan Del Pra says he drives 2.5 hours to the Astro Camp that he goes to twice a year. Good dark skies and not too far. It's at Snake Valley, 20 minutes west of Ballarat.
Hmm.
I like the name Snake Valley. It's cool. I think where I used to go observe in the Anza Borrego State Park was Snake Valley too, because we would sometimes be out and you could hear rattlers and stuff like that. So always kept you on your toes for sure.
Hmm.
Um, but I think Marco has the right idea, having that tent cot. I slept on the ground a lot of times out in the Anza Borrego State Park. Sometimes I wake up with a sticker from some little tiny cactus that's out there, or ants, scorpions, that kind of stuff. So you kind of want to be up and away from that stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
It's important also to keep in touch with people to make sure they know where you're at.
yes, it is
Um, if you're out there by
exactly
yourself,
where you're at, because if you get out and you know, I'm sure it wouldn't be the first time that a park ranger had heard about somebody, uh, you know, passing out because of heat stroke or something like that, so you really got to be careful. You need to bring plenty of water,
plenty of water.
first aid supplies, that kind of thing. Marco's going out there alone. I've done that before too, but I would just say, you do need to be careful. So, for sure. But okay, well, tomorrow we will have Kent Martz back on. It's already Friday, right? Tomorrow.
Tomorrow's
No, tomorrow's Thursday. That's
Thursday.
right. Thursday.
Day
So
off. You thought you thought I was taking Kent's place today.
that's right. I know I am a whole day off. Uh, we will have Andy Fracknoy on. Kent Martz will be on. Not sure who else might be joining, but it's always possible somebody could sneak in. Um, we have, and then of course Friday will be here before we know it, because I think it's already here. And and we'll see who else might be coming on. We have some other people that have expressed interest to be on our show, and so we're really happy to have them on. Let's see. This is Dusty Haskins. He said, last night I got 2 star parties, so it was awesome. I was on one for the Bell Museum and had you guys playing at the same time. Definitely got my astrofix in the snow. That's cool. Aaron Stewart says, replying to Explore Scientific USA, seriously, the VA just wants to give us drugs to keep us sedated. Oh my goodness. It leads to addiction. The local astronomy clubs won't have us because of our language. Well, Aaron, I grew up on military bases. Okay, so my real father was a Navy SEAL, and my stepfather was Recon Division Marines. Okay, so you don't have to worry about the language around me. Okay, so
Right.
right.
My dad was in the Army too.
Yeah, I'm trying to show our warfighters that you can function in polite society without tons of drugs. We just need an outlet to see that our world is bigger than just the battlefields in our memories. Right. You're right, Aaron. So we're happy to support, the veterans. And if you want to try to, you could do this, Aaron, if you'd like. We have an organization called Explore Alliance, and we could create a special section just for veterans. I think that's very cool. So if you want to do that, give me
You need to put
a
Tyler in
call.
charge. Put Tyler in charge of that.
Yeah. Heath is a veteran as well, so
Yeah.
give me a call. That's my personal mobile phone number right there. So, but okay. So no more words of wisdom, Jerry. Nothing.
I'm kind of tired.
Tired.
I've been falling asleep this afternoon.
Yeah, you were
I've
late
been up
for your star
all
party.
week. I was getting up early in the morning, 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the
Oh, that's
morning, and
right.
staying
Doing
up.
your lunar.
for-
So did you
for the
stop
last-
doing that, or are you
Yeah,
taking a
because of
break?
the clouds.
Oh yeah. Right. That's right.
I don't have a device yet that can pierce the clouds.
Yeah. 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 So you can imagine me during Halley's Comet. Okay, so I'm working at Oceanside Photo all day long. Okay, getting there as early as I can because amateur astronomers are storming the store to buy telescopes. And then every night, I saw you, Jan. Every night we're driving out to the desert, 3 hours, okay, to get out to where it's dark. And we would meet busloads of people out there that wanted to see Halley's Comet.
Hmm.
Man, after about 2 weeks of that, that was killing me.
Yeah, I can.
That's when I
imagine.
was young. I was like,
Right.
I was
You can handle it
26
better.
years old at that time. So, anyhow, well, thank you for watching, everyone. Aaron, please get in touch with us. You can get in touch with me or Tyler, but we'll work on this this program for veterans and see what we can do. Okay. And until that time, you guys stay safe out there. Think good thoughts for your friends, and if you are a veteran or if you know someone that's a veteran, please thank them for their. We thank you for your service and thank them for for all those that you know like that. So, and we'll see you tomorrow, 4 o'clock.
Yep.
Take care. Just have to find how to. There we go. And here we are. And take care.